Greetings everyone, welcome to Chess Advanced, and today we have a very insane game. This game actually brought Pragananda to world number 5, so definitely one of the best important ones. And with the white pieces we have obviously Pragananda, and with the black pieces we have Vokhidov Shamsiddin. He's a 2600 rated opponent from, I believe, Uzbekistan. I could be wrong, but this is from the Uz Cup, so definitely it's going to be very much interesting. So without further ado, let's start with this game. Pragg starts with c4, and we have knight to f6, c3, and just going for this e5. We have the English opening two knights variation. We have g3, bishop to b4, and e4. And here in this position, we have d6, d3, and we have this knight to c6, but here just h3, and we have a6, knight to e2, and just b5. Immediately striking in the center and trying to attack on the queen side. We have bishop to g2, but just going for this rook to b8, and we have castles, knight to bishop to c5, and rook to b1, and just castles. And we have king to h2. Very early on, stating that he might be interested in pushing those pawns all the way in, starting an attack. And we have h6, but just f4, and we have b captures, but just here d captures, and we have knight to d4. Very likely starting an early expansion in the center. And we have f5, just saying that I'm not interested in pushing the f pawn, I might just be interested in pushing the g pawn. And we have a5, and in this position there are a lot of moves that can be played. You could also go for this knight captures on b4, and here after bishop captures, here knight to d5, but after c6 you'll have to play knight captures, queen captures, and after b3 we'll have a4, queen to h5. And here after d5, striking in the center, you can see that with black's pieces and black's pawns, it's easier, it's always going to be easier to find those moves, push those pawns, capture those pawns, and it's black who's going to have an initiative in this game, while white will have to continuously suffer and try to find moves to play, and it's going to be very much annoying. So you don't want to play this position. That's why in this position Pragg went for g4, just directly going for starting an attack. And here he replies with bishop to e6. He thinks that this attack is not going to be that much fruitful, and he doesn't have to worry. So Pragg just goes for b3 in this position, trying to defend that pawn, because you don't want to give it, because that also comes with an attack on this knight, and you won't be able to move that knight for an attack. So that's going to be very much difficult. And here c6, but now just going for knight to g3, and we have knight to h7, knight to h5, just pushing that knight all the way. But here in this position you have to be very much careful. In this position his opponent went g6, weakening the side further, and this gave Pragg an initiative, because when you have to understand that when you weaken the side, there's always going to be ideas of sacrificing the piece. So with that in mind, I'm going to ask you to pause the video, try and find out the move that Pragg played, which gave him a very nice opening advantage. It's just 18 moves, so opening theory advantage, and have at it. So congratulations to everyone who's able to find this move. The move is bishop captures on h6, and this is exactly what Pragg played, and this is the best move in this position as well. And we have g captures on h5. He accepted the bait, and now comes g5 in this position. And black, if at all he has to defend, white is the one who's pushing for anything in this position, but if black at all has to defend, he needs to find just one move in this position, which is this bishop to b4. And here after like knight to e2, you'll play this d5. Just whenever someone starts an attack, if you're not completely at all losing and they have sacrificed a piece, it's always better to try and strike in the center, exchange as many pieces as possible. We have knight captures, e captures, but queen captures on d4. Now mate is being threatened, so you have to defend f6, but now comes g6. And let me tell you that you cannot move that knight. If you try and move that knight, if you want to be greedy, then just bishop captures. And now if you're thinking that I'm just going to capture this, you cannot do that. If you capture it here, then you have to understand that this push is coming, and next is going to be that. So wherever you move the knight doesn't have that many square, rook that doesn't have many squares, so wherever you move the rook, this is coming, and just it's going to be over very, very soon. And if you're thinking I'm not going to move the rook, I'm just going to move the king, you don't have any spaces, because if this check comes, then all of this would be covered, so there would be absolutely nothing. You cannot go here because this pawn covers that as well, so you're going to be mated in the next move if you try that. Otherwise you can always sacrifice the rook, but that's not leading to anything good. So you cannot capture that, and here the position will completely fall apart if you go for this bishop. After bishop captures, black has absolutely nothing. So here after g5, the move that we played was king to h8, just moving away from everything. But now just queen captures and h5, and now queen is jumping in the attack, and it's going to be very much difficult to defend. We have rook to g8, trying to defend this way, but now comes g6. And what are you doing in this position? There's absolutely nothing. We have f captures, and just going for rook to b7, just trying to defend this way, and you could capture, but that won't lead to anything good. So here just rook to f7, a very beautiful rook left here by Pragg, because now once rook captures comes, your rook is being attacked. What are you going to do? Where are you going to move it along this diagonal? So here just rook to g7 was played, just sacrificing the rook, because you have to survive somehow, but rook to f1. And now the position becomes very much difficult. Here queen to f8 was played, but now here bishop captures rook, and we have king captures, not queen captures, because that would lead to very horrendous things. We have h4 now, but now just going for this bishop to c8, just trying to get that bishop into the game. But now all you have to do is just move the bishop out of the way and make way for your rook to attack the king. And here bishop to h3, bishop captures, but rook to g1 check. King moves, we have rook to g8, and now if you capture, you get another queen into the game. So here queen captures on f7, just grabbing that pawn. But now comes this queen to h6 check, and here once the king moves, you're gonna lose the queen now. And do you have anything to for the sacrificed queen? No, because once you capture, that's gonna that's gonna come with a check. So here you're gonna lose the knight as well. So you're gonna lose two pieces, and you'll have three pieces against a queen and a knight. It's going to be completely losing. Also, you're just losing this in the next move. So it was on this move, on move 33, that Vokhidov, Shamsiddin resigned the game, and Pragg got this spectacular victory in just 33 moves in Usch's Cup. And with that, and with this win, he was able to climb to world number 5, and that's absolutely insane. With the rate that he's been growing, you know, it's not that far away that he could secure the candidates, and also maybe, just maybe, take away the title from our beloved Kukesh. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll be coming back with such amazing games. So stay tuned to the channel, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be seeing you guys very soon. Thank you all.